Do you struggle with eyeliner? This tape and cotton bud hack gives you flawless, smoky liner in seconds. Let me show you how to achieve it. So we're going to start off with some Scotch tape. If you've seen my previous 2 tutorials, you'll know that this is a game changer for creating the sharpest winged liner. Firstly, pop it on the back of your hand a couple of times just to remove some of that sticky layer. We only want a soft tackiness. The placement of the tape is going to be in line with your lower eyelash line. So we're going to imagine that this line was to continue up past where the corner of our eye is. Now, if you imagine a line directly from the pupil of your eye outwards in a straight line, this is roughly where the end of your wing is going to finish. Do not worry if your first placement for the tape is incorrect, just lift it up and then replace it. And don't worry if it takes off any of your makeup, I'm going to show you how to reapply this. So I've placed this up underneath my lower eyelashes, making sure it meets the corner of my eye and then following as if that lower eyelash line was to continue upwards. Then you want to take a matte eyeshadow, any shade will work. I'm going to use black and brown today. I'm taking my cotton bud and dipping that into a small amount of the eyeshadow. I'd recommend blowing any of the excess away. Starting at the highest point on the tape, work that colour down towards the eyelash line, but remember not to take it much higher than the highest point of the eyelid. The highest point is directly above your pupil. So again, always working off of the tape and coming down towards your eyelash line. Always use a very light hand and you're very softly smudging this onto that area. Don't take it too high. Turn your cotton bud over to the clean side and again working off of the tape inwards, we're going to start to very softly smoke the top of the eyeshadow. Now you don't need to rush this part, but I promise you it really doesn't take long. I'm making sure not to go too fast so that I have time to talk you through what's going on, but I promise you this is such a quick and easy tip and definitely handy if you're on holiday and you don't want to take makeup brushes with you. Now you could leave it there or you could create a soft ombre finish with a brown eyeshadow, which is what I'm going to do today just to show you how we can take it from this smoky black to a smoky brown, which I feel like is very flattering, especially as we age. As we get towards the inner corner of the eye, we want to make sure that that eyeliner gets even softer and smaller in size. We want the largest part of the eyeliner or the widest part to be as we get towards that tape. Use the cotton bud to softly blend between the brown and the black. And now you're ready to remove the tape. This reveals the sharpest winged liner. Sharp on the base, but very soft on the top. Now if like me your eyeshadow does fall down, don't panic. I'm going to show you how to remove it with a tiny amount of micellar water on a cotton bud in a rolling motion to minimise spreading this further. If you have a hydrating spray, I would definitely put this on the base first because it helps to revive your base again. Then go in with a small amount of your foundation on a small brush because you can be more precise that way. Just be careful not to take your brush over your wing, you don't want to spoil the sharp definition that you've created. Then go in with a beauty blender to make sure there's no seams to your foundation where it meets everything else, and then you can just powder again, reapply some of your bronzer and then go back in with a small amount of your blush, and that is your base makeup back to how it was before you had any fall down. Moving back on to the eyes, I'm going to use a liquid eyeliner to tightline underneath our top eyelashes. I'm going to wiggle this between the root of the eyelashes and this is going to define that lower part of our eyelid, making our eyeliner look much more intense but without that being on top of our lid and not losing any more lid space. The one I'm using is by Wet n Wild. It's super affordable and it stays in place all day and it doesn't print down on my lower lid. I really want a good amount of lift to my eyelashes to make sure that the winged liner isn't disturbed by lashes that sit lower than the eyeliner. Droopy lashes will really spoil the appearance of that lifted finish. So I'm using an eyelash clamp and I will link it in the description bar if you guys want to try it for yourself. It's great if you have small eyes, if you've got stubborn eyelashes that tend to fall back down with regular eyelash curlers. So I'll link them below. Then I'm going to go in with some mascara. I'm not going to use any eyelashes today. I feel like false lashes might take away from the softness that we've created. I feel like it would hide the work that we've done. So I'm going to show you a few different stages of how to wear this eyeliner. So we're starting off with just mascara on our top lashes. This one is the Lancome Lash Idol. I love this mascara. As you know, I have been a fan of this for so long. It comes off just with water. It's not the same as a tubing mascara. Even though it wears like one, it doesn't smudge, it doesn't flake, it doesn't transfer, and then just warm water does remove it with a microfiber cloth. I find tubing mascaras, like actual proper tubing mascaras, quite difficult to remove. And again, I will link that mascara down in the description bar. So I've moved on to the opposite eye. You'll always find one eye is much easier to do than the other. On this occasion, I decided to really pinch the cotton bud to create a bit more of a point to it so that I could do the blending a little bit easier on this eye rather than trying to use a round one. You can of course purchase pointed Q-tips or cotton buds, but they are more solid and that is not what you want for the blending. You want something a little bit softer and fluffier, so I would recommend pinching the top so it becomes a bit softer. Here I'm just showing you how I'm blending that brown into the black. This side is a little bit less seamless, but it really doesn't matter because if you use a very light hand you can get it to that seamless finish. And remember to take that brown all the way down towards that inner corner, and again using a light hand holding the Q-tip right at the very back so you've got a light hand, you'll be able to blend very softly across that top lid. So that took no time at all. I love the reveal. And now I'm going to give my eyelashes a curl. It's up to you if you prefer to curl your lashes before you do your waterline or the opposite way around. Sometimes curling your eyelashes first is great because it exposes the waterline, which makes it a little bit easier to see. And whether you choose to look down into a mirror or up into a mirror, whichever exposes that area for you to see properly, do what works for you. There's no wrong or right. See, on this eye I'm doing the opposite. I am curling my eyelashes, doing my mascara, and then I'm going to go in with the eyeliner and wiggle that between the roots where I can see the exposed skin. So that is both eyes done just with mascara, and I like to show you this in different stages because you might be someone that doesn't like anything on your lower half of your lids. So this is the eyeliner only with the mascara. I think it's so beautiful. This is how I prefer to wear it in the day because it's not overwhelming. But if you want something that's ever so slightly more sultry, take a brown eyeliner along your waterline. I'm using the Bobbi Brown Longwear Gel Eyeliner mixed with a little bit of the Inglot Duraline to make it waterproof so it doesn't move. And I'm taking that along my waterline and also on the inner corner of the eye. We've now completely lined the perimeter of the eye, and this just really does make the eyes a focal point. This is another nice way to wear it without that lower mascara, so there's nothing too heavy. Your eyes don't feel spidery as such, but they feel sultry. They look more almond shaped, but still daytime appropriate. And then if you do want to go full on, you can apply the mascara to your lower eyelashes. This will create more balance to your top and lower eyelashes, but I feel like it makes less of a feature of your top lashes because they look more equal, hence why we tend to use false lashes to amp up our top lashes, and then our lower eyelashes aren't competing with the top lashes. I love all three options. Let me know which is your favourite in the description bar. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. It's such a quick and easy way to create a soft smoky liner that is sultry but also suitable for all age groups. Please share this with your friends and family. You never know who you might be helping out. Everything I've used will be listed and linked in the description bar. Don't forget to have a nosy through my channel for more helpful tips and tricks. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!